back at Pebble Mill or something I wanted to write. So I saw recently on some, and I've been watching quite a few demos on these Gelli prints plates, and one of the things that I saw was a mount that the plate, which is obviously that, sits on. And what that does is it basically, because this sort of self-adheres to the surface because it's got all those minerals in it, you can turn it upside down like that. I'm only holding that at the edges, I'm not touching the gel plate. That means you can turn it into a stamp, which is pretty helpful for me. So instead of spending 35 quid, I made one out of that's Mylar, and that's just a piece at the back of an old sketchbook, and the Mylar's just taped to it. You gotta, yeah. I did try it with just Mylar on its own, but it's too flimsy on its own, so it needs support, the Mylar does. But you could do it with a piece of Perspex. Perspex would be even better, because then you can see, and it's something that I will do next, is cut that same size out of a piece of Perspex. And then when you turn it up the other way, the transparency of the gel plate, you can see exactly what the print's going to look like before you do it. So it's very advantageous, and you don't need to pay 35 quid for it. That cost, to do it that way, about £1. So do it the way you want to do it, but you can do it a lot cheaper than 35 quid. Right, what I'm going to do with this one today, I've been cleaning off the, and I've lost quite a bit of detail, so I'm going to be cutting templates again shortly. That's Mylar 2 that I've cut that out of. And see how it's bonding onto the surface before, that's the minerals in the plate. Yeah. So I'm going to coat the plate up first, use that as obviously a block, and put the detailed ones in as well, because obviously the eye details are missing from there. And then I've got some lino plates, and I'm just going to push them into it as texture, because I found using, I've got a lino print that I've done from the stencil that I use to do these current portraits with the young girl's face, but I've lost it, I can't find it, and it was really good with this, so see what happens, don't know, might work, might not. So I'll decide on the colours, which I sort of already have done already. Right. I'm going to have to buy another tub of this, I suspect. It's a good colour though. And do ya. Too many of that. Getting a bit picky with these, aren't I? Right, I'm going to work put my rollers. What did I do with that? Oh, it's going to be tight. Yeah, I thought that might be a bit difficult. Oh well. Before I get any glue in on it now, we'll work a bit of that, work it out and across. Quite happy for that, because there we go. see what it's doing already, can't you? Oh, you're so bloody awkward. Pull that flat. Yeah, cleaning it earlier, I think I might have got a bit brutal with it. Not picking at it with my thumbnails, trying to get thick layers of paint off. It's always a bit cathartic when you do that. Right, lost the eyelid on this one. So I need to get a bit clever. Oh, it's the other way around, isn't it? Might be. Oh, I'm not getting away with that. I think I might get away with that. Dip that down onto there. Get the hell onto there. There we go, that's a bit better. Stick. Cretin. Right, other one. Right, now I'm going to give that a go. I'll do it that way round. Try and be as flat as I can about it. I'm interested to see what I can get out of using lino prints into this. There you go, see? Probably worth doing a print off of that. But yeah, there you go. So I think I'm going to let that dry and put some thicker acrylic over the back of it. I'm really annoyed about that not sticking down. Fold in the plastic there. Making it goddamn awkward. Doesn't want to know, and there's not a lot of paint there for it to be held in place. Ha! Typical. Oof, lifted a lot out there. Don't like that. That's not helpful. Stay still. I think as long as I'm reasonably clever about how I go about that. I'm debating doing a print off of it now. I don't know though. I want to keep the intensity of those colours. I've already done a surface lift out of it. I think they're quite transparent, especially that yellow down there. I don't want to lift out any more of that. I want to retain a bit of that. So I'm going to have to let it dry. Then put, don't know, thinking about this now. What do I put in? think I might go for cerulean. See, it'll mess with the yellow if I do that. I might put it, I don't know, maybe even lavender down the centre of it, and I'll go for cerulean blue on the edges. I think it's really good what you can do with the multiple prints, but I don't know, at the moment I'm sort of exploring the avenue of layering them up. There's been some quite interesting results that I've had out. Oh, stuck them down. So that was through letting, that one was through letting it dry for a long period of time on the plate, letting it really, the paper go dry as well. And you can feel it in the back of the paper, you can even see like the cockling and the, quite happy actually to just leave that as a landscape. Don't know, because it's got potential to use it with the portrait as well. It's a tough one to call that. Blue tack on the back of them, so I put them out flat. So that was, I really like that one. Very happy with that one, but it's pretty nondescript, but I like what's going on in the paint. It's pretty dark, but there's also a grin to it as well, so contradictory. This one came out quite well as well. See what I mean about keeping the yellow with that one? And I don't mind that tear in the paper there, I quite like that. There's a few of them on here as well, but I think it just adds to the textures. I really like that one, but I would understand if people didn't. It's pretty vague. This was another one. Looks that way up actually, yeah, you can just about make the eyes out in that. I really like these vertical or vertices going down here in contrast to that going across the horizontals. Yeah, I can rip that, feels like a proper plate to me, that does it. The others have got, I don't know, there's something, I keep saying it and using it, it's quite playfully addictive. Which is great, because that's what makes you practice at it. If it's no fun, you won't go back to it. Unless you're some sort of sadomasochist. Which, thankfully, you're watching this, you're probably interested in the art, so you'll probably have an element of that to you. So I'm going to give it a little bit more drying time. See how much gets lost as it dries, can't you? I like that though, the way it breaks the surface. You can see the oils reacting with the waters in the acrylic on a fine film. And the opacity of these colours, I'm very impressed with that yellow. It's often the case you put something behind, they'll try to, ta-ta, it's all gone, but I don't know whether I'm right make a statement, but I assume that's because they're golden are quite, yeah. It'd be interesting to see if cheaper liquid acrylics did the same thing. I bet they don't. The colour viscosity is probably a lot lower in them. It's still a bit wet. Tell you what, I'm going to go in there. I'm not convinced about the strength of that yellow in there, so I'm going to dollop that in there. That's more than enough. And what did I say I was going to go with? Cerulean blue. I think a bit of this in there as well. You can have that on you. You can. See that causing me problems in a minute. Okay. Can't see how long I've been running this for. I'm guessing it's about 15-20 minutes. Hopefully you'll get to see a plate out of this now. I just think a little bit of this is going to give a bit of contact around here, but I don't want to go too mad with it. Use that against that yellow. Right. Flat you go. Goes there, across there a bit. Ooh, look at that. Doesn't want to know, does it? Turn it up the other way and come in from the corner with it. Go diagonal, see what that does. Try to keep that straight line out of it. Interesting. Like that. See what that does when I dump it on there. I haven't got my lino press with at the moment, so it's a bit of a bummer. I've got to run that in conjunction with this and come up with some lino prints at the same time. Give that a little welly. Lovely. Right, okay, I'm going to lift it out. So I'm quite happy with the texture in that. Come on. Ooh, that's interesting. Ooh, that could pay off rather handsomely. I hope so. I'm debating using a dark colour as like the binder at the back of this. I don't know. Looking at that, that's making me change my mind. Right, now this might come in handy, this argumentative bit there. Ooh. 20 minutes. Okay, what I'm going to do is for a couple of minutes, I'm going to switch the mic off and dry it off and see if I can get this. Well, actually, do you know what? You're not going to, yeah, I'm just going to stop it. Because that needs to dry now. Like, quite well. But I can see a lot of promise in that. I don't 100% know, because I haven't. If I'd done the thing with a perspex that I was talking about earlier, then I could turn it over and have a look at it and see what it looks like from the other side. And that's the advantage to putting it. And also, you shouldn't be putting this thing, from what I've read, onto anything other than a plastic surface, because it leaks its minerals. You know, it's one of its properties. That's why it resists the water coming out, getting into it with acrylic paint. Okay, I'll be back at Pebble Mill shortly.